I am studying American history.
I'm an English literature major at USC.
I hope to become a college professor.
I'm doing a PhD in early modern European history.
My dream is to be an opera singer, just to sing in the great opera houses.
When the Academy was first announced, a lot of people were wondering, what does it mean? What is an academy at a university? What is a polymath?
A polymath is someone who is skilled in multiple areas.
People who not only mastered more than one or several disciplines, but did uniquely synthesize them, integrate them.
Well, my favorite polymath is Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, because he was a philosopher, he was a physician, he also was a tutor to Alexander the Great, and he was also a successful soldier.
Her name's Qiu Jing, and she's a poet, an educator, a feminist, and also a revolutionary.
Omar Khayyam, Galileo, glorious Leonardo.
Michelangelo studied not only the arts and not only painted, but he knew about music, he knew about all sorts of things. But in our world today, we're very constricted, we're very specialized. We have to study a certain subject in particular to be competitive in a specific area.
A culture can reward the specialist, but by definition, if you know one thing only, you don't know the complete thing, because nothing exists in its onlyness. Everything is integrated.
This stuff seems so fundamental as we speak about it, as to make one wonder why it is that we have lived, worked, studied in these silos.
When we look at the history of production in the Industrial Revolution, we began to realize that we could make things if we specialized. And the university saw that too.
I'm a master's in vocal performance in the repertoire over the 20, and it just gets more specific and more specific as we go along in time.
I came of age at a time when in your education you laid down one database, entered one profession, and that was your life. Today, there's no one who believes that that's going to be their life.
The world is changing. Everything in the digital universe, everything is connected to everything else.
The rise of digital culture is the point, is the force, is the dynamic that's bringing a polymathy back. The Academy for Polymathic Studies is headquartered in the library.
A library is a great symbol of the polymathic ideal because it represents a universe of knowledge.
We have 23 different libraries.
It's kind of like a magical place. Like, there are a lot of things that you find here that you might not think are here.
The whole idea of this place is to borrow from what we may learn of the way in which these polymaths worked and thought. Less emphasis perhaps on what they did, but my goodness, how did they get to do it?
We're going to be inviting people to come and talk as part of the Academy's programs.
And share in conversation about the multiple dimensions of the fields they study.
That can be incredibly relevant because the one key insight you need to turn your dissertation from just a good one into a particularly great one could come from that interaction.
The idea is to escape the rigidity of classic study.
People get to participate in a scholarly community as equals.
It's not just trying to get people to combine different disciplinary methods, but to sort of integrate them into the whole person.
So the weave of technology, art, and philosophy is what we are about.
Ultimately, each of us in what we know are weaving a tapestry, and that rich tapestry is knowledge.
I think there are a lot of stereotypes we're hoping to break with the Academy.
The most successful polymath is not necessarily the jack of all trades, but the man or the woman who has mastered one trade, one subject, and then begins to see the interconnectedness of that subject with so many other multiple realities.
There's a great anecdote about Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computers, and that he attended a calligraphy class.
When Steve Jobs talked about how calligraphy led him to the design of the Mac, we have to realize that design itself is by definition a polymathic pursuit.
I think Goethe's color wheel symbolizes the Polymath Academy very well.
The interrelatedness, the flow.
You can see that unity in that color wheel.
The whole purpose of the academy is to reach across the entire bandwidth of the university.
And to me, the circle is really a continuum of learning.
The trick here is to develop a way of thinking which clearly increases the efficiency with which you go about problem solving.
And it allows you to move beyond where you had stalled, and so you're not stalled anymore. You get to start running again. And
Yes, it's going to be an extra commitment. There's no denying that. But at the same time, it's also a place to test run your ideas and to make you a better thinker.
it's easy to make time when you think about the potential payoffs of the program.
I think it will give me an advantage over other musicians.
This will make me a better teacher.
We can try and make ourselves as complete or as whole as like that wheel as that we can.
To always realize there is more to learn, more to be engaged by.
I absolutely see myself participating in the academy.
I would like our students to walk away with the notion that they had a good time.
If there were a single word that might be the Academy's proclamation, it would be discovery.
Spectrum.
Integration.
Perspective.
Expansive.
It's an investment in the future.
We want you to be curious.
I guess wholeness is the word. Wholeness.
Einstein beautifully said at one point, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all great art and science. That instinct, that attitude, that way of approaching learning, that's what we're after.